Hey there everyone, it's GG Sober Sun. High atop the parking garage. Not that parking garage over there. They kicked me off of that one. But I could just take the elevator up to this one. So we're all good. It is June 8th, my original sobriety date of 1992. I still haven't had a drink since 1992, but I did reset my time almost 2 years ago now, the end of July of 2021, because of a pot smoking excursion. Anywho's and ways. AA thought for the day. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. We always get worse, never better. We are never cured. Our alcoholism can only be arrested. No matter how long we have been sober, if we try liquor again, we're as bad or worse than we ever were. There is no exception to this rule in the whole history of AA. We can never recapture the good times of the past. They are gone forever. Will I try to recapture them? Yeah, I don't think they were ever as good as I thought, as I made them out to be. They're just what they were, you know? I mean, well, live and learn and grow and type situation. And, I had an assignment, a possible assignment. I get emails daily from USA Jobs, which is a government website for open government civilian positions. And I've always said if I ever go back to work for the military again, it'll be as an education counselor, because that's the part of my job that I did while I was on active duty Air Force that I really, really enjoyed. And so this job came up in Korea, and it was in Korea that I did probably the bulk of my heavy drinking. I drank for, I think there may have been one night that I abstained from alcohol the entire time I was there. Unless I was working overnights during an exercise or something like that. But most nights I drank until dawn, because I worked from like 3 to 11 at night. And a lot of times, because it was a fighter base, once the last, what we call the last goes, had landed and had been refueled, well, we broke down to a skeleton crew. And sometimes that was as early as 7 p.m. So I did a lot of drinking there. And I've always thought it would be cool to go back sober. You know, I still actually have dreams where I'm in Korea. And I turned 21 there. And so there's I was very impressionable, you know. And I got to the point where I could speak conversational Korean and cool stuff like that, you know. I actually helped some teachers with enabling their kids to learn and converse, their students to converse in English, and so help them with pronunciation and stuff like that. So that was fun. And, you know, it would be neat to go back to, not to try to recapture anything, but just to go to some of my old stomping grounds and see how much everything had changed. And so I may put in for it, we'll see. But I do have to do a gut check whether I am there to try to recapture being 21 again and footloose and fancy free, so to speak. But I have to remember also that should I think that's going to happen, it was in Korea where they talk about this fear of impending doom first set in. I would just get the heebie-jeebies, like something, not just someone, but something was going to jump out of the dark and murder me, when I'm walking back to my hooch kind of thing, or like the plane would crash on the way home or something like that. I drank so much the night before I left, but I just couldn't get drunk enough, just the fear of the flight and everything else. I wasn't generally scared of flying. It was just that, I don't know, the change, going to a new base and everything else. So, would I be trying to recapture the old good times of the past? No. They weren't really good times. Wild times, but not good times. Meditation for the day. Your life has been given to you mainly for the purpose of training your soul. Oh boy, he's getting philosophical here now. This life we live is not so much for the body as for the soul. We often choose the way of life that best suits the body, but not the way that best suits the soul. God wants you to choose what suits the soul as well as the body. Accept this belief, and a wonderful molding of character is the result. Reject it, and God's purpose for your life is frustrated, and your spiritual progress is delayed. Your soul is being trained by the good you choose. Thus, the purpose of your life is being accomplished. I think we seek purpose, and good purpose for sure. And we seek truth, and to have a purpose in life is, what does Jordan Peterson say? I think it's along the lines of stepping into your life's purpose, and that's really the long and the short of it, and it's like, I drank myself into AA, right? But that's not the end of the road, man. It's not like a life prison sentence. It's the key to life and happiness, of a fulfilled life of happiness. If I trust God and effectively feed myself the spiritual food of doing the daily habits of connecting with my higher power. What does my buddy Waddell say? Stick out a hand, lend an ear, become a friend. Oh, he's got so many little sayings like that. And he repeats them. He's one of those guys that repeats them. And I need that, because sometimes those things will come to me right at the right time. Extend a hand, lend an ear, become a friend. It's so good. I pray that I may choose what is good for my soul. I pray that I may realize God's purpose for my life. And leaning into vulnerability, being willing to share my dark past when prompted by God with people who seem to be receptive. That is God's purpose in my life. And to be around people in recovery as often as possible, at various stages of recovery, as often as possible. I just went to one of the local rehab facilities to take a meeting in there. And yeah, they don't do it right. You know, like, there's a guy who he's getting out, being released from rehab on Saturday. And he just was so, like, full of joy, you know. But at the same time, probably stepping on the toes of his fellows. You know, but I have to be reminded that I can get that way even now. You know, another guy who was just basically airing out his thoughts about his drinking and stuff like that, and one of the old timers that came with us just shut him down. What the? We don't need to hear about how to get messed up. We all know that. And it's so funny because that guy's got over 30 years of sobriety, and he just got really crappy. Not, you know, wasn't a lot of love and tolerance. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a way to shut people down. You know, thanks for sharing. You know, keep coming back. Sounds like you're still processing whether you're an alcoholic or not, so keep coming back, you know. And we say at the beginning of the meetings that you know, please don't glorify your drinking and drugging. And I think it was the specifics of what he was saying. He wasn't necessarily glorifying his drinking and drugging, but like, instead of buying a fifth of whiskey or whatever, you know, he'd say a fifth of Remy Martin or something like that, you know. And it was kind of like, there's still quite a bit of ego there, you know. But he picked up his 30-day chip today, and it's just like, oh, that's a reminder, you know. So it's a reminder of how we can get, even still. So it was cool at the end of the meeting, the guy who shut him down went up and congratulated him and gave him a big hug and apologized. So that was cool. It's a living, loving, learning, growing program, that's for sure. Keep coming back. Thanks for letting me share. Look up, aim up, rise up. Love you.